ain't off the ground now. I'm on another level, Cartier on the bezel, yeah. I get the money and run, I get the money and run. He think I'm falling in love, but it's just no on the bluff. I get it, I live it, tryna fit in my world, but it's far from basic. No, I'm not complacent, got it so good, no, you can't replace it. Level up, level up, level up, level up. Holla at me, better measure up. Swerving in the Lambo, rev it up. Level up, level up, level up, level up. Talking money, we can settle up. If you want me, better level up. I've been on, I've been on, I've been on, wow. I've been on, I've been on, I've been on, wow. I've been on, I've been on, I've been on,
Good morning, or whatever it is, wherever you are. Nothing's broken this week. There was something that I was a little bit concerned about when I first saw it. I think it might have just been a interaction change, which is irrelevant for my use of mode, but of use. Oh. Well, we probably built the release one closer to there, and patches are fine anyway. I can identify abandoned versus owned wells. I'm still not sure about this. I mean, Jason's basically said he doesn't want people searching for stuff. There should have been an abandoned well from our last time we were testing stuff. That was the bug I reported. I'm not. I kind of don't like these plus things. None of them have bothered me enough to get. Priority ranking was not a conflict because it all happens in the add temp home location, which I ended up kind of doing my own version of that. Oh, this might affect me actually. Well, no, because this determines what commands you use, and I have this explicit use command, so. That's on server. Nurse cost. Yeah, this was the one I was concerned about. This is all in the code that determines what action to take, and we just have explicit action. So let's see if I can see what the homeland information is. I'm probably in range of it. Oh, and what account? Okay, that's vulnerable if need be. It's just a shallow well. It's not an abandoned well. Wonder if abandoned is only kept in server memory. Let's see what we've got in the log. Okay, so yeah, there was no homeland yet. Means I'm not gonna get an abandoned homeland until you die. Unnamed family. Okay, it is unnamed. Then where is abandoned a server thing? No, that's living life. Abandoned. A family name not equal to null. Okay, so it is a family name. The family name is unnamed. Family name not equal to null. Interesting that. Yeah, abandoned must be a runtime. If H not equal to null, so yeah, there was no homeland information. If we have a homeland and family name is not equal to null, it's there. Otherwise, it's that. Add homeland. Okay, so it's not passing any name information, which I don't really have a place to display that right now. I suppose we should. So you do new family name. Do H family name if we've got it. So you do homeland pointer. You do homeland object. Well, this isn't else. Oh, does it send 0? Ah, okay, so fam name is what we receive. But that's only in the message buffer. This is going to be the most recent pay. Oh, no, this is part of location slip. So we've got H family name. H pointer family name and H dot family name. One way or another, once this is done, we should have that. Now, you do memory manage that, so it's not something you could keep around, but it does like pre-convert it to null. And then this is going to be H dot family name. And then your living life function. And all we're going to check. Hmm. We have two different slip colors. I was thinking maybe you could do like a pro. The other thing I was looking at is there's a age attached to maps that you might want to record. So you could potentially do some marking. What would abandon look like? I mean, bone color would just be back to white. I guess there's the green of ancient stone walls. Actually, I do sort of want you to die. So we can check abandoned versus owned. At this point, I would need an owned well. So the funny thing is that wells that have water are the same green as ancient. So an active well is more likely to be owned than a dry well, probably. Hmm. Well, as long as I'm here, what do I do with that? I think some of these don't have, yeah. 9 millennia ago. And is that being sent as literal text from the server, or is that... Nope, that's a timestamp. So what was my location slip structure? M location slips, it would have to be in here. Yeah, so he's currently recording times as expire ETA. Which if we're going to expire is what you want. That's the only fact you need. If you need start time and end time, you've got two things to worry about. And it's using a double. That's probably... Yeah, just being straight up game compared to game get current time, which suggests that game get current time is itself a double. Perhaps number of seconds with a fractional part of the second? So when we read a map, looking for map metadata. Yeah, this isn't a function, is it? Yeah, player says which gets the map metadata. Map years. Map age times get our... Oh, so it's a map age. Specifically age, not time. And that is an integer. Int is map year. Well, let's see. 1 hour would be for abandoned well. For map, 1 hour wouldn't be too terribly old. That's that age in seconds or years. Well, we know it's 9 millennia, and it's this many. Well, that's not 9 anything, is it? So that can't be years. Yeah, so that is looks like seconds. Mm-hmm. Or 3. Okay, X, Y, or age. Right, a person pointer would have that. A temporary marker. Start. Age is number of seconds. So we could subtract that from game's current time to get the approximate creation time, and then we have to do math back from get current time to get the age. But since that will change over time, That's an integer number of seconds. And I don't really need sub-second precision for this. And yet, that's a expire ETA is a double. The default creation time for any marker is going to be time it was created. So location slip labeled, this is going to be a home. At temp location, that's Jason. Temp location slip. Expire ETA. Game get current time plus 60. 60 seconds indeed. That's going to be our default for everything. So we get better information. Well, person, update person location slip. I guess if it's being updated, that makes it a little bit more recent, but ancient home location, we're not going to know how ancient it is. Nope, that's Jason's. But that'll let us age out ones that have been rung in a while. And then this all right, so if there is a known family name, we're going to call it current. If not, we're going to call it plus at least an hour old. 60 seconds times 60 minutes. All right, homeland, then get arrow index. We should be going on into stuff. And then for home markers, yeah, having an age order. And then we eventually want to add something here so we can actually use the map to mark those out. So when we do draw location slip, the easy thing to do is to get the arrow. Oh, he's adjusting the fade of the individual arrows. Maybe we need to be changing our baseline fade. Well, we're doing a calculation for that particular arrow's fade. We never want to go all the way down. Or I could be adjusting alpha. This is how it's done. So this is, we start at 1, which actually means this is going to be 0, 0, 0 black. Oh, and that can be one. So it's almost like we're gonna have to, well, no, we just adjust this fade. Wait, that's the not solid one. Oh, and then at arrow index. Oh, so this is so actually that's different. This is, and that's the erased sprites. So I probably never want to take these below like half. So this wants to be, oh, but you are not drawing erased sprites. You're drawing this with a different draw mode. This might in fact be alpha. Because you're drawing, it would be white. So I still need to calculate. Where is location slip? Creation time. Well, there's get game current time while we're at it. So game get current time is always going to be greater than that. So this is going to be the amount of time that has elapsed in seconds. We probably want, see, what would be the appropriate function for that? I'd like something where I don't have to be doing clamps and whatnot. So simple functions. So as our time increases, that is unbounded growth. And I don't actually want it to go to 0. What is it, x divided by x? I'm gonna have to be an hour rather than a minute. That approaches 1, so which is kind of what we want. Does it approach 1? Oh, there's 1. So at large scale, it probably approaches. We have to do some other scaling of that. So that's 2, 1. Oh yeah, so there's 1. Hmm. Or was it? This way. No, that approaches from the other side. So what happens to this at, well, at 10, I guess, is what we care about. Oh, it hits 0.5. And then continues growing very, very slowly. We still want it to be bounded at that final position, though. So this is always bounded at 1. Unfortunately, if I did that, then what's 1 hour old be 50%, and the really old ones could continue getting fainter. Check this with our millennia thing. That's age. So we actually need to do. Now, is that going the right direction, or do we need to invert it? That's going from 0 to 1. We need to invert that, I believe. Okay, so I did get informed about abandoned well. Which that doesn't look, well, it's not particularly old yet either. So bells are going to be hard to test. 10 millennia ago, and that's not faded at all. Well, I haven't done maps yet. Only thing that's going to have, well, creation times and abandoned wells. But I'm assuming at least an hour old. Nope, it's still unnamed family. Right, I guess it has to be unused for an hour, even though they're dead. So we're gonna have to fake this up. That's 1 hour, huh? Maybe this mode doesn't show alpha very well. Maybe this mode doesn't show alpha at all? Yeah, there's string stuff. Oh. Maybe this mode doesn't use alpha. Now you see that's color white, so I'd expect, yeah, it's multiplicative blend. Changing the draw color, I mean, you think that would make it even darker. Or actually, doesn't that cause the background to turn black? No effect. Maybe I could put 0 in fade in the alpha channel. Yeah. I mean, that might be a little bit easier to see. Do something else. Also, not sure what, if anything, that's doing. But I think you actually have to have sprites that are prepared differently for the other mode. Yeah, it's very dark. I might not be able to fade this. Like, could I put 0 in here? Would it care? At least one. Yeah, so that mode does not care about alpha at all. And the erased sprites are already like, they look erased. And I suspect additive texture coloring. Oh, let me turn this. Gonna be the wrong operation for these sprites. Well, that's gonna be alpha 0. That might matter for that. Well, that's very weird. Why dots? Okay, so that was nothing. Wow, so that's like actually nothing. Oh no, it's supposed to be 0 at full draw. That alpha 0 was weird though. Is there a Z? Is there like hidden data in that art? Okay, so that's okay, so half is very faded. Nope. Right, we changed it. Right, so we reset that to 60 because it wasn't showing up. We want that to be baseline around an hour. Oh, geez. Already invisible. Minus creation time. Oh. Also a creation time for graves. All homelands have a creation time of 1 hour ago. That should be baseline. To get us to 50%. And 50% is invisible? That seems weird because I'd swear I just did this and it was still visible. Out. I'm gonna have to see what my actual numbers are here. It's gonna be spammy as all heck. Yeah, that should be 0.5. Oomph. Right. Adding on the negative, I guess, does weird things to it. Now, wait a minute. How are we getting a negative age? Oh, because I have to subtract doing that. Because it was that long ago. This person goes far as it used to. All right, so that almost looks too faded. If I get maps hooked up, they're absolutely visible. On the other hand, that does give me some room for like older home markers, for instance, that have useful amounts of fade. The awkward thing here I don't think ever go beyond 0.5. I'm not sure we do. This is always going to be based around 1. I guess I could move out the center point, or 1 hour sounded like a nice. What would it take to get 0.25 to be it? So we are at 1 hour right now. And division by 5, which isn't exactly what we want. Let's cut this down to something more tractable. So 0.5 is at that number. 0.25 going to be about 0.3-ish of that. So that would be about 3 times. Put 0.5 at 3 hours. Well, it's only 3 hours. That might not hold up well for the big maps. Technically, the limit is still, like, invisible, which... We want a sense of oldness, not... That stretches it out, makes it smaller, makes it closer to 1. Right, 0 is black. Oh, so do I just have this backwards? Starts out at 0. I mean, 0.5 should have been 0.5. Right, because I was originally calculating alpha, which goes the other way. So for an hour-old well... These don't have actual ages yet. Those are still full dark. The fact that can still go all the way to 1... Let's say 0 to 1 right now. So we would take the result of this. Bring it to that, and then we could use... That would make sure it's actually constrained. I don't know if we'll get great resolution at smaller numbers. And then we'll have to pass map age to the temporary markers so that they can appropriately push back their creation time. And the other option, we could look at sepia tone. All right, so that is 1 hour old. Show up as new because we sort of, well, at some point it will become an actual update. And there's the random 7 again. What the heck? Looks sort of like, well, the Z for that. Is this a runtime sensitive thing? Oh, what the heck? So is that from the draw itself? Maybe? I mean, we are technically drawing it in a drawing mode that it wasn't made for, but that still seems a very, very weird result. And now it's fine. Where is... We position everything. Well, technically it's the slip position, and that gets passed through everything else. Mass screen view center. All right, so there's this as like pos.x, and that's probably hmm. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything else there. Add temp location slip, add temp location slip. Person key, person ID, person key. I could either do creation time or I could do age. I guess age is more like a direct fact. That's what the source material is. Although I almost want to have I could add person location slip. Now, if it's a person, we do a whole bunch of stuff. And I guess if we ever do other kinds of person tracking, we could get a would be floating point. Maybe birth time. All right, or num, see that's an or num read equals. It does say map age equals 0, so it should start off, have a default value. Okay, so that's a week old. That's a pretty old map. That's probably right about a half. Probably getting pretty asymptotic to 1. So that was, in theory, the thing to do. If I want to do something else, it'd have to be colorblind. Which I think right now I've kind of got a constant color that I can just pass to something. Draw spot, yeah, set draw color. Now, it's RGB, we can pull it out pretty easy, I think. We only ever use it once. Now, I don't know that there's anything. What was, did he do sepia or black and white for the? That's more black and white. Now, if he was to do a sepia tone, it would probably be like just for because of his palette, the bowl color. Yeah, so we've kind of got this color, we've kind of got that color. It's actually kind of all over the place. I guess what I'm really looking for is like rather than sepia tone, vellum parchment. Vellum parchment. Parchment paper. Um, very old paper color scheme. So it's less of this yellow, probably closer to the pottery color, the lighter end of the Bagasse. Sort of like the potatoes. Sort of like the calamine. The stand? I mean, it kind of is wood. It's a little yellow. Oop, a pile of onion. To a calamine. 2515. Need objects. It's probably only going to have one sprite. 2383. That was 83. 93. Set for this. So there's still a pretty wide range in here. Probably a little bit lighter. All right, stone. Got RGB 203 165 114. Now I don't know if simple, very simple component-wise blend is color correct. All right, so we've got, we'd want to pull these things out. Yeah, so the age is going to be independent of how we draw it. This calculation is not necessarily how you scale it. Well, a component of it might be. Sort of like 1 hour to go halfway idea. Uh, what would we call that? We've already got ancient. Got well, we might not end up doing both of them. So where is so the slip had to be drawn before this because it's drawn below the arrow. That draw color. We didn't want that to go all the way, even if it was all the way. We might still want to. This might be more of the we shift this over a little bit. Da 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 da. The set draw color was the same function with a different yeah. So that was a float color. So this is like the fraction. Well, no, color is actually going to be ah. Flip color dot r. Da 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 da. Is that like a minor gems thing? Color stuff. I don't know if he doesn't tend to do a lot of color blending type things, so I don't know that he functions for that. Oh, it's not even in. Does it matter which way we minus these? Well, whichever one we want to choose as base. And this by itself is going to go 0 to 1, so 0 sepia, more sepia as it ages. Okay, so we actually we're going to reference this a bunch. And let's see. So if sepia is larger than this, we want the result to move in the positive direction as we multiply this factor. So I think that's sepia.r minus color.r times that. Age not declared in this. Oh, actually, the color actually gets set before that. Okay. Float color. Okay. So, living life page. What the heck was it then? Capital float color. Did that matter for my other? Well, I already closed. Get float color, set draw color, corner colors. Yeah, not necessarily seeing anything that looks like a blending operation. I guess I could have pulled a function out. Do it once though. I guess this isn't technically sepia, but we looked for a faded paper color. And there's that X again. Or that something. So something I'm doing is doing too much. That's already looking kind of faded. I almost need to have an active one and an inactive one. Oh, that might actually be a properly abandoned well now, too. Oh yeah, that's oh, so the problem is it's gonna look like a skin tone. So it'll end up looking like a baby thing. I guess if I do that with the fade, be a little bit different. So maybe you need to moderate yourself as well. So retain some of the original color. Yeah, there's something fishy going on here. All right, that's definitely not a skin tone. I don't have an easy way to get more of the. Yeah, we're like drawing stuff way the heck over here. I don't think I have code to do that. Could this be a out of bounds arrow index? The other thing that's concerning me is a 720 screen. How far over does that go? Now I've only seen that. Well, I've only seen that since I changed drawing modes on it. It's kind of weird. Okay, so that one's fine. Let's see, the other thing we did was we add the extra parameter when creating those. Because if not equal to -1, I guess I could try printing out what it actually is. Because it's either that or the faded, I'd think. Huh. That unfortunately just means you're going to have to keep an eye out for. That'll be a somewhat faded well. Add temp. Homeland location. Add homeland location. Oh, no, I have turned that off, so that might have actually gone abandoned. Yep, it's abandoned shallow well. I can't easily get both of them up here, and that's not going to be a very distinct version of that color. I would have to fake up, you know, like what the bells look like and whatnot. A very, very faded map. All right, I did take off. We've had a couple of runs now. It's weird that changing drawing mode does it. Nope, nope. So it's clearly attached to the position of this thing. I took the arrow off before. That seemed to do it, but we also just have runs where it doesn't trigger. We've got some draw sprites. It almost seems like that would be more of a text operation. But what do we ever draw that's text? Draw sprite. Oh, temp person key. Location slip temp person key. What could I do? And dist, which shouldn't be going off. Oh, there's previous dist fades. Maybe I'm not properly clearing those. Well, pencil erased font. We've got temp person. Dist string. And this. I don't know if this is going to have any visible effect. So we're probably just not initializing something. Looks like the arrow. I didn't think I affected the arrow. Unless there's something else happening there. Also, that seemed very dark. Oh, I also have to change the drawing mode back around. Around this. That looks nice and ancient. Now, so that stuff would be drawn below the fold here if it was having any problems on the other slips. So we want to allocation slip or tweaking positions. So that's negative, so that's going to be positive. I don't think it's going to be on the slip too much, so a little bit over is probably enough on these. Aha! We have something in red. Which says that it's temp person key? On a well. A step. Okay, that's his temp person key. Does new trump previous. If in person. Temp person is in person. This is not an in person. Oh, I might not be explicitly setting these for add homeland. Right, so it's not clearing all memory. Okay. Add location slip. Pause. Ancient, temporary, labeled. Well, okay, given that certain things are shut off, other fields shouldn't matter as much. So we should be able to ignore, like, person key. You don't explicitly set temporary expire ET. That's technically some of this stuff. I think I was copying this from Jason's, which seemed to assume that you didn't have to set this on every single time. Slip color gets set. I guess arrow states we count to getting updated. And then all of this stuff. I mean, this should get set. Maybe simple vectors handle their initialization? Then we don't, as a struct, we don't really have a... We haven't had any real trouble with that yet. Oh, because temporary expire ETA probably only matters if you've got the temporary flag, and that technically gets set down there. Add ancient. So I guess adding a temporary on there would sort of help on the testing for that. Wait, was that Jason's? Ah. Add homeland. And unfortunately, we're gonna have to keep an eye on here. Da, 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 da. So in theory, the home arrows, if you play for a while, can start to hit it a little bit if you had more than one. Not going to be super visible. The other thing is that we're not doing anything to the other... Well, the other erased arrows aren't... I guess that one actually just disappeared. I mean, the erased arrows are kind of invisible on the blue anyway. Interestingly enough, they're not invisible on here. Huh. Must be the drawing mode must only work on light colors. Okay, so we've got draw location slip. We think we found the mystery characters. We were offsetting positions so we could see when there was something funny going on easier. All right, and we are on patient slips. Okay, so the age sort of does owned versus unowned. Takes care of map age. I'm not sure what to do with two trials yet. Hard to detect. Might be a little late to start a major. What would a well, I started to do a name completion point. I said, oh, we'll just have search for steps that for objects could be a little funny, but I guess if you're for fuzzy search for objects could be a little weird. So the thing we've got in vanilla client two arrows. That can help with spotting things. I might want, I'd have to do my own special kind of location flip to point at the nearest one. Hmm. What is that arrow? Hint arrow. M current hint target object. Zero. Last hint target pause. Is that a location? Oh, it's target and actor. Pointer to ones that are on the ground. So zero is on the ground? No, it's just checking for both. When do we update this? Get hint message. It's called every frame? Well, it's step. And if it's not equal, I'd pointer until I start tagging again. Hmm. You'd have to have an exact filter map. You have like a current item. Holding the target of a current hint, if so. Move any of our held objects from the list, we don't show up on the ground. Start watching for closest object draw. And we might be able to use that. Oh, closest object. Well, it would have to be drawn. If it's off screen, it might not get drawn. Instancing invalid, current hint index. So this is dealing with actor target. For the currently selected item. Now, I should probably pick something that's actually around here. Oh, okay, we have to interact with something. Bow is also a thing. Play bowl with cohere parts. Oh, there actually is a shovel here. It's just shovel. Oh, interesting. So some of these trigger it. Does this recognize that? Yeah, that's no filter match. Yeah, that recognizes that there are matches for that name. What are my patches? I guess for now, we should go to... And we should probably... We're done with this work. Edit, we're in game source. Which is master... It's change log. I actually published that and forget to update. Yeah, from you, I need git tag. I did never update that. Okay. Hmm. Well, it was never actually published as a version. Not really gonna matter for the temporary ones. And yep, that was it for that change. Oh, I never got around to going back and publishing that. I mean, it's still unpublished. I always want to test it myself. And which patch was it? Filter matches product. All direct trans leading to this target object. Last hit filter string. Object record. Search objects. That's going to be hit objects, which could be multiple objects. There's like shovel and there's shovel of dung. I might have to get an exact match to identify that object. What is it? We already had an array. It's an array of exactly 2 objects. In which case, maybe I should duplicate that logic for hit objects and then just mark them all. Wait. Hit objects. Do I need to clean that up? So I found a thing that was not currently being used. I didn't have a use example. Object bank? Return array destroyed by color. Oopsie. All right, so objectbank.cpp. Search objects. It allocates its result as what? At get element array. So that's a simple vector. It returns it as object record pointer pointer. Yep, I saw one. New clothing cont. And that's just a delete. So we do not use it outside of this loop. Quadrant, if num hits greater than 0. Now, since that's doing the search object, I might just put it into there. But you kind of have to touch on that code pretty directly. But that is in and of itself. I should have kept readme up. So this is actually changelog. Series, go to that's the place where we're going to have a list of matching objects. We probably have to have some sort of limit on how many objects we find doing that. I might need a separate setting. Oh, well, that would. Why doing that? All right, so initially we have hit objects, object ID. So I would want to, in that case, in that case, I would want to keep that record around. Well, I want to keep at least. M current hint target object. Now, he has, yeah, there's 2 of these, and they can each have a location, a bounce, and a fade. So this is sort of intimately tied to his system here. So maybe this only has to work when we have a limited number of hit objects. And unfortunately, shovel is going to match shovel of dung. So I might have to go for like, this only works on exact match. We'll watch target. Or I make a completely separate system. Hold in. Does that like fade out nicely? Object. So I want to know something about how many filter hits we had for objects, not for transition. And we're actually doing okay on food. So we have things like shovel. Or not found. We haven't run it yet? Okay, so that hit 6 things. Is like going to be shovel, shovel of dung, shovel head, steel shovel head, hot steel shovel head. Hmm. A whole bunch of. Well, I only want to. Looking for 2 things, but it only shows 2 arrows. So maybe. Hmm. Hmm. But I still need to be looking for target objects for all of those things with this system. So what does the search phrase normally do? I think I saw a thing that was turning some other code off. All trends leading to this target object. Find objects matching words. Which returns the simple vector that manages the memory. So this might be the more limited version of this we want. Which case it wouldn't really be tied up with that change. So if I turn that feature off, there's another search objects with a multiple words. Oh, Maleficus. That's ultimately coming down to a kind of search object anyway. Don't count the object itself as a hit. Ignore object ID. You're doing relative to something. Exact hit. Num hits, num remain. There are exact matches use. Oh. That actually does have some logic for exact matches. Whereas search objects does not have any logic for exact matches. There is a use instead. Exact. I don't suppose. Well, actually, this is. I mean, search objects is going through all the objects. Right. Oh, free.get matches. Okay, so this is like fancy stuff. That is indeed going to be a better thing for seeing. It was interesting because I need list. They've got lots of interesting things. I mean, recently added fertility control. They've got bottles for small objects, baby bottles. They're like trained dogs and use the canal look kind of cool. I I wonder if they make special custom code for that though. Yeah, I mean every once in a while you see like people set up like a snowball fight arena stuff like that, but I guess maybe that's just the core group. So I want the big list of objects, but I don't need a big list of arrows. Current hint target object. So that is 2 arrows for 2 things. Old hint arrow. This is okay. So there is a fade in and fade out. Uh, so the bounce and fade. Old hint arrow. Now that's variable. Blocked by a repositioned real hint arrow. Reset bounce. Push old hint arrow. Reset bounce when target changes. I do the old hint arrow and then move the current one. Hmm. What I'm looking at is possibly a larger set of objects. Get from a hello. Oh man. Need Darko? Something like that? Are you referring to looking for more objects or hope? Oh, cool. Substantiated it well. Or hope. Okay. Don't know that I can. Well, I can go through the matching objects and search for an exact match in that now reduced set. Num filter hits, go through num filter hits. This is an object, so it ought to have some sort of name. We'll have to do a whole other string match on it. Well, yeah, mods are. I guess they're modified clients, but they're not in the sense of a patch. Normally, you really only have each one. Shadow's working on something in another environment. I don't know if that's, and presumably that will allow dynamic loading of things if it gets going. That might be kind of the point. So this is modifying some data structures that come down here and presumably do all of the filter string nomad. Making. Okay, so there's already some other string stuff here. Unfiltered. Okay, so that's based on number of filtered. Object string. Making. That's the same string. Goose pond in different states. So I remove that. Last hint. Yeah, it doesn't even seem to deal with current hint target object. Oop. And we're dead. Target actor. Get hint message. It's called from here. Well, okay, so I wouldn't have seen the code that did all of that because it's called. Toolbox. So this is updating. That's learned tools. That's going to be all me. Hint filter string. Target object indicator. Current hint object ID. Current hint. That's the thing that we're showing there. Sheets. And that's okay. So it does that while it's up there. Which depends very, very much on single object. How does that work if it's a plus B? Get num hints. Not equal, not equal, not equal. Equals next. Hint bookmarks. Okay, so this might not actually be an object ID. This might just be integer. Oh, that's holding ID. Okay, so that's for the filter by object hold. Da ba da ba 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 ba. How about dest object, which will be unchanged? Int for object interactions. And this is like if you click on or you try to interact with something. If you're holding something, that's the thing you interacted with. Let's see. I might need a separate system. So it'd be something like the old arrows. So the old arrows are probably only fade out. Ah, and then it's H in here. Yeah, so they only fade out. I mean, they're logic. And this is only, yeah, they're kind of completely in draw. Old hint arrows. An M, so it's going to be defined in H. It has a position, a bounce, and a fade. Right, because it's kind of the echo it leaves behind. We're going to be searching for a list of interested objects. We're only going to highlight one at a time, though. So it's like there's enough arrows for that, but he kind of has. That's interesting. He's got two of them, but I've only ever seen one at a time. Both the same. If holding air, sure. Oh, actual watch targets. What's Okay, so that's the start watch, which must be an object bank. Animation system something. Bank? I'm gonna say object bank, because that'd have to be object draw. Is It is object bank. No. Animation bank? Yep, it assumes two. So are you does this thing handle like containership? Well, it's only called once. In clothing contained. As for clothing, it does. In subcontained. Alright, let's only, well, ints, look up the object IDs. Animation, draw object. You have to have an arbitrary size watch list. Start watch. Does the closest object get closest object draw? Drawn true in index. This is only for drawn objects, not objects that are in our known worldness. I tried to do that, I would have to search the whole map when we set the filter, and then I would have to search all the map update or updates. Generally more concerned with stuff in the world. We have a watch list of objects. We have points at which we have initial search when the map changed. We have an arbitrary list of possible targets. I really only have one current arrow. And then old hint arrows might actually work just fine as it. So I'd say sort of need that search. I'd be doing the same search, but I need to do different things with it. So I don't know if I necessarily want to put it in the same patch. Okay, so not you. Really, really too much to be doing, actually. Or is it? Here's an unpublished patch for it. STG series. Okay. Go to, do we have anything going on right now? Testing. Yes. So this is in get num hints, which I think only happens when, there's a change in filtering logic. So because we're doing separate patches, we're going to kind of do this twice, which is unfortunate. None of the remaining matters at all, except I have to have that argument there. And this is probably object bank. Num to skit, num to get. Do I want 200 in this case? I mean, I guess for some things, there can be an awful lot of potential matches. So I'm not necessarily doing transition stuff at this point. I want object IDs. We care about depth. There's all the actor target stuff. Maybe some depth stuff could be useful for finding a direct object instead of... It does, okay, so... Filtered trans. So we want to go through there. Oh, the object already has its own depth, so maybe we could use that on the can. So, let's see. Do I just keep that around? I really only need object ID. So for testing purposes, what is it? Trans record, I mean, it's something like that. And really, this will end up being like a member thing. So we'll do like delete all. Probably. Okay. So much call. Oh, did I delete too much? Let's think from the context apparently. Oh, do I need you down below? And what does it actually complete? No match for. Wait, did I call search up? Naming is hard. Old was not declared in this. Oh, right. Jason likes this style. Old. And that might not get called until we touch something. Okay, so yeah, now we got something there. Did I close? Where's my log? Just double check that. Steel shovel head. Yeah, so that's going to be one of them. On flat rock. This hot steel, yeah. 502 probably. Yep, shovel tool. That's probably like shovel of dung and shovel of something else. So the other thing we're looking for. So those are members. Are they? Yeah, current hint object. Old hint arrows. So I have a vector of things we're looking for. I think I'm only going to have one active. Can be searching for up to 2 objects and each have their own arrow. Actually, the M will take care of it. do. Yes, that's push old. Unless, yeah, so I'm going to need a new function for this that can make it up with current stuff. So this is the stuff that we're going to need. Think I only need one? Current hint, that was hint target. Current object pointer. Last. Current hint target. All right, so these do need be initialized a little bit. All right, live object. We have a live object, and we're searching for something. And then I wanted to see if we could do this as an off-screen draw as well. If there's any we know about. Which is going to go far, 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 far beyond just copying. This is the drawing part. Holding the target. If so, hide the arrows. Actual watch targets. Start the watch. I'm hitting right. Then the actual drawing once we have something set. Wait. Are you map positions? That's getting actual. Well, this is a bunch of drawing code that does stuff on tiles. Tile basis. So if we have tile coordinates. Oh. Actually, closest. I have to find, I might need a list of all of the candidate objects currently known. Don't necessarily show an arrow there. But would have at least the X and the Y. The first stage of this is probably to try and recognize things straight up on the map. And even just doing that as we're drawing. So this is, for these two things, we have exactly one thing. Not pointer drawn, reset bounce. Arrow sprite. Oh. So this is like some logic just happening in draw. Or no, and then this is old arrow management. So the simplest version of this is the on-screen. So there's, highlights. Well, that's previous mouse over spots. That cuts it down. And loop over rows on screen. Permanent container wall objects. I don't know about searching in, well, I guess a shovel in a shovel could still be in a box. Why he cheated and went down to the draw level. We've got all these layers. Well, the plan is to do a proper search of this. Which would mean recording the position somewhere. Right, we're just going to look at basic. Extra moving objects. Just a thing in a cell. We start working out some logic. Sort. For adults, this is people. Right, this is going row by row. Held to draw on top. Debugging grid, which I've used on occasion. If cell drawn continue, marked objects behind everything else. Double drawing, which looks moving and non-moving. Yeah, game objects on screen. Bug overlay. Let's just draw the path. Mouse over. It is such giant fun. Okay, so here's start watch. This has to be before everything gets drawn. That's the map I for the current mouse over cell. Highlights. path. More path. There's the on-screen flags. Okay, X, Y. mmap. Moving objects. That goes through all of the map. Here's the row basis. World Y, screen Y. Here's NX loop. It could have already been drawn. Oh, memset, cell drawn, false. I guess this is just kind of general proofing here. Draw map cell. Well, it's actually a function. You get a map index, a screen X, and a screen Y. And there's still a whole lot going on. Yeah, here's all the overlays. If it's an unknown object, ignore watchdog. For all the overdraws, I guess. All right, so somewhere in this, so there's map I, we get an object ID. If it's greater than 0, that controls everything. He technically does his arrows in like a totally different spot. Yeah, so he's got stencils and fridges. 5 to different use marks. Now, is that mark or is that okay? So that was make mark, and then M arrow. That's home arrow sprites. Hint arrow sprite. Get closest object draw. Turn to cell. Move up. That's old arrow management. Fully faded out. Doing all the bouncing. All right, we're not going to have a loop. So let's just take over my little safety hack here. I'm not sure that all of the things had that naming scheme. All right. That is the object. So this is where we have to do. Taking photos is going to be pretty rare, so how hard is the match going to be? And here I close down minor gems. Assignment operator, get element. Get element equal to shrink swap index of a that's basically a search. Get element index. Not equal to -1, it's in there. The actual result of that is going to be ID. So -1 will not be greater than 0. Get closest object draw. So this is originally going through the arrows. This, in this case, since we're currently drawing this inline, I don't know if we're going to stay drawing this in. Target pause. Draw object anim at. OID, cure time, anim fade. Pass pause? Screen X, screen Y. Oh, is this world coordinates or snap offset? So repeat starting position. Drop offsets. Start pass. So this is for, okay. So pause seems like it might be a good starting point here. Wait. Drawn was a, if the object was drawn. So this is irrelevant to us. Probably should have done select in. I don't know that we need that. We can check on it later. Last hint, target pause. So this is saying if the position is not equal to the associated position with this, then this object has moved, which it deal with some state stuff later. Hard sync with the other. Okay, so maybe this is... I thought it was two different objects you could look for, but it seems like you might be just using this to ping pong. And maybe that logic does do that. Wait, so what is... That's the reset position. That's the bounce. Oh, plus the bounce. Times the bounce. All right, bounce, fade. Fade. Target sprite. This we can't really do. Last hint target. I'm not sure do I need last pause? Maybe I do. Now this might be we had two to actually ping pong, which might be... I'm not really sure what to do with that. This is going to be all kinds of mess. Okay. Oh, we just plain lost that. Wait, where's... So aren't you just an else from here? So I actually did have a shovel somewhere. But it could be anything. I haven't touched anything yet. Okay, so spell that right? That's an ads. The steel ads. I guess could be highlighted from other things. So that's not working. All right. So sought objects. We've still got our hit in there. Oh, this is going to happen every. So maybe it's our coordinates are wrong. Let's see if we can. Let's see if anything is hitting. If we do that for every single screen draw of every single cell, that's going to be painful. Okay, we got some hits. And we start getting a bunch of draw indexes. Okay, so it's not a recognition problem. It might be a draw position problem. We left our rounding in there. Our fade might be messed up. It's less than 1. Plus equals delta rate. Greater than 1, set it to 1. Okay. Maybe pass pause. Offset. Pass pause equals pause. Offset equals offset plus pass pause. I don't see it actually modifying this anymore. I think those are double pairs. We've got a fade, which is probably also floating. I don't have a keyword for that, but we saw that that prints were happening like every frame. I can believe that's world coordinate. Also, we're at fade 0.1. which doesn't seem like it's working right. So I probably got something that's resetting it. Right. This has to be outside of the was any drawn space. We have to like track if it's active and then handle that if nothing appears, which we should probably move these up to be, there's like one pointer to the current thing. Oh, maybe it was just really faint before. Okay. Now, since this is only map, we've always got a problem there. I expected this to only work. Yeah, the long-term plan is to make this only work for one item. So it's like it draws this one. No, this is the standard one. And then these are all like multiplying off of each other. It doesn't seem to be going into the... Oh, actually, no, that's because these are like maple tree with branches in the description. I think that those aren't getting reallocated as... Maybe it's just like first encountered in the draw order rather than closest. Like closest to what? So we're going to have to keep track of our live object position. And track the position. But only we need only have during the draw. We're going to track the position of the one we're interested in. Distance to the object. Distance to... And really, I kind of want my own iteration. Or my own iteration of the map. Doing that for the brand new stuff might be tricky. I might have to keep a list of candidate locations. Don't have to rescan the entire thing. And then when we choose one to display, we're going to have to go through and check distance to the character and or screen center. Then we pick one for an actual arrow. However, I do want to get to lunch at some point. So we've actually seen something happen with this. It's not at all the final code we want, but it was an interesting exercise in matching things and identifying them. This is during the draw, but we can this will be in a loop over all locations, so we just kind of set that up. Do you pop that one because it's not usable right now? We play with this today and then try to remember to actually publish it. All right, because last week I played on Sunday. And I was just kind of late. I didn't really need to do that, but didn't need to run it. I'll need to copy that over to play with later. And then thanks for watching. Thanks to everybody who hosted me. What do we got? About when I'm usually on. But I think some of that's the time change, which figuring out how I want to handle that. Well, I see somebody playing around with the chat bot. Sounds interesting. Given that I've done some very, very light Elm. So if we're looking for someplace cool to hang out. Oh, wait a minute. How long are you going? Why aren't you on my list yet? Huh. Decent map. All right, I'll have to get the spelling right on that here. Can't give me link to. Got that. Yeah. Oh, right, they're doing the civic hacking project, which was something to do with helping local farmers find people, I recall. Yes, they're going to be doing some static pages with Elm. Someplace cool to hang out. Someplace cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye and